We're getting this nose as an example for understanding how it's working. So for each part we want to tweak, we have like 6 blend shapes. One is for the width in the positive axis, width on the negative axis, height, and then the depth. And these values that are going to be our mouse grabbing position. And basically in Blender would be like this: nose width and negative, going to shrink the nose. Tip is going to point up, down, and the depth the same. So how is this working? We're getting these grab head shapes, and we're getting the mouse X and mouse Y position. And first thing we need is the rotation, because we can rotate the character and it affects what are we doing, if we are getting the depth or the width. So the other parameter is the limit, which means which is the limit of the mouse to achieve this final blend shape. And we set a limit to see if we are going to grab this in the front or we're grabbing it from the side. So if the rotation is inside the rotation limit, which means that it's pointing to the camera, and if mouse drag is positive, we set this variable as a W positive. And if the mouse is dragging to the left, we set it as a negative. Well, if the mouse is inside the limit, which means that you can't grab eternally, so you have like an end. And if this blend shape exists, we have to set this blend shape. How? We get the head, we set the blend shapes with the name of the current shape and the grab direction. That could be positive, negative. And we range lerp this value, which means that we get the blend shape, this blend shape value, plus the absolute position of the mouse, which means that it's of the mouse X, which means that it's always going to be positive. We don't want negative values there. And we just range it from 0 to the limit, which means from 0 to 10. We convert that from 0 to 1, which is mainly from 0 to 1. And there you have it. Then we adjust the other meshes with the same blend shapes, in case you have a head and you grow the head and you want the hair to follow this blend shape. So this is how it works. We do exactly the same with the mouse Y direction, positive, negative, limit, and we set it. What happens with the depth? So we want it to be bigger than the rotation limit. So that means that there's a limit of 50 degrees. Now, instead of getting the width or height, it's going to get the depth. So we do basically the same: positive, negative, mouse limit, and we lerp the values and we assign that. But what happens? Thing is that you also need to duplicate the code for doing the same thing, but when it's pointing to the other side, looking to the left or to the right. So it's because of that you have to duplicate this value. It's over the limit or minus the minus limit. So we do exactly the same. I think it's quite easy. It's easier than I expected, so I hope you understood that.